There you are. You found me.
The amorphous figure takes hold of both your hands and squeezes them.
You look... You look so good. How are you, darling? What? Don't you recognize me? Come on, look a little harder.
Within the shimmer of their changing form, the familiar lines of your own face take shape.
Hello, hello. So, do you recognize me now? Or shall I give you a little hint? It is so good to meet you, darling. From the outside this time. Don't get me wrong, it's divine in that body of yours, but somewhat constrictive. So, now that we're familiar, shall we get down to business? Listen carefully. This is the Hall of Echoes. A vision of it, at least. We're here because there's something you need to know. A great power within you that we need to unlock. You'll need to master this power if you're going to make it off the island. And this you must do. Everyone else on the island is chaff. Toss them away when you're done with them. I care for you, Losa. I am your friend. I know you better than they could ever dream of. Do you think people would still care for you if they knew the real you? Don't be stupid. I can see it in your face. You know the truth, don't you? But, Losa, there's hope for you. Together we are unstoppable. Look, let me show you.
The figure waves its hands, and a great power swells within you. You feel the electric thrum of an unknown magic tingling in your fingertips.
You may have noticed incredible things happening on your journey. Water beneath your feet aiding you, for instance. It was I who channeled that power within you. You are the source. I am the catalyst. And this is only the beginning. Together, we can unlock even greater powers within you. You are God-woken. But the gods are too busy fighting each other and tempting more interesting champions to notice you. That's where I come in. With my help, you'll be capable of so much more than strumming a lute for a few gold coins. First, you've got to get off this island, at any cost. Do you understand? I didn't save you from that shipwreck just to see you drown in a puddle on this blasted island. You're welcome. Now, do show a little gratitude, won't you? We cannot fail, Losa. You and I are unique in all the world. You'll see. I'll show you.
The figure lays its hands on your shoulders, looks in your eyes, and smiles.
You can do this.
See? What did I tell you? Little gods. So, who did you meet? What did you learn and all that?
Her eyes go wide.
No god, huh? Then who?
She leans forward and inhales deeply through her nose, smelling the air around you.
How long has it been possessing you? Well, shite. Listen to me, this isn't good. Whatever's inside you, it's smart and it's strong. Probably smarter and stronger than you. I have my suspicions, but I'll need to see more of you before I'm certain. Luckily for me, you're rather easy on the eyes. Life is for living, darling. And just to be clear, yes, I certainly was flirting with you. Now, show me what you learned from that other soul-stealing miscreant who's taken an interest in you. Hey, that stings.
She examines her hands, where the skin sizzles slightly beneath their newfound aura. As the spell fades, the skin heals once more. Her whole body seems to relax.
You really are God-woken. I'm happy. Oh, how unbecoming. Come then, we set sail, your destiny awaits, etc. You'll have to ask the Meister about that. She's dying to meet you.
Melody beckons you to the boat.
After you, darling. As you wish. Let's go.
Malady grabs the vessel with two hands and pushes it into the water. She hops on board behind you.
God-woken. Wait till she finds out.
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the water, and Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
Don't stand between a prince and his principles. The Magisters learned that the hard way.
What were they thinking, standing against an Eternal? I almost pity the poor, ignorant beasts.
I've no sympathy for those who die in the line of duty, especially as odious a duty as those dead Magisters held. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the ship.
Don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive. The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment. Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing. Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead. Sendelius, pray to you for my Seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation.
Welcome aboard. Pardon the condition of the place. Wild party last night. Yet you appear no worse for wear. Ready to set sail, I presume? As soon as we convince this heap of wood to move. The ship's mute. We need to free her tongue. It's quite expedient magic, actually. The ship is made of live wood. It has the spirit of an elven ancestor tree within it. It seems Dallas has found a way to bind that spirit to her. That means only she can control it, unless we can find a way to break the bond. The Seekers, what's left of them at least, have been quite busy with the effort. One incinerated himself on the figurehead, and the others have been stymied by a set of doors downstairs. You're very lucky I'm helping them get you to where you're going, Godwoken. Now, if you could help them sort out the small matter of getting out of here, we can be on our way. That's the spirit.
Ah, there you are. High time to stop gallivanting and resume our journey together, wouldn't you say? Off we go, then.
I was just getting used to this seafaring life. You know, we could... From the look in your eye, I gather it's time to grab my things and get back to work. Ready. We'd probably get tired of this view soon enough anyway.
Ladies are stuck the old tub. Take a lot of this thing.
I must say, you may not be an Eternal, but you are certainly not as temporary as many of your fellows. You handled yourself well. Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient. Livewood? You have taken a dead elf and carved it into a pleasure yacht?
Whatever I'm looking for.
I knew you people were barbarians. I had no idea you were sadists, too. Well, no matter. Whatever gets me to Reaper's Coast quickly. I have an excavation site to explore.
Nothing. Empty as Dallas is out.
The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people had been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. Well, you see, I have a rather pressing engagement at the Black...
The skeleton breaks off mid-sentence as he notices your hand. He pulls out a notebook, flicking through it, running a finger down the pages.
Physical contact, voice lowered, coy looks. Good heavens. Is this a mating ritual? Why, that would be excellent! I have been curious about this for some time. The social interactions, the expectations, the mechanics. Come now, let's begin immediately. I shall compile my notes afterwards.
Fane grabs your hand and enthusiastically pulls you behind the screen.
Well, that was most unusual. I mean, I had read all the leading authorities on it, but I didn't think... It's just... that thing you did with your tongue, it was quite unexpected. It was. I mean, it was. Of course it was. It's just that well, I felt nothing. Neither the warmth of your touch nor the fire of your passion. I may as well have been shucking an oyster. Really? Even the part where you... My goodness.
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. You can hear him muttering something about highly unorthodox, lack of sensation, and coccyx. You ponder his words as you pick up the last of your belongings. You're almost sure that's what he said.
A team? What an interesting prospect. You certainly seemed capable in Fort Joy, and a companion on Reaper's Coast could be quite educational. Very well. I am open to this. I believe you normally spit on your palms to seal agreements, but I seem to lack the fluid and the desire to touch you. I hope a hearty verbal agreement will suffice. Very well. Let's be off.
Wish I had half a clue what I was looking for. Whatever I'm looking for, I'm not finding it.
The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something.
What's this? I found something.
Swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance.
You keep saying that. It won't save you.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or amulet had made a mark there. The face vanishes. The thud of your fist upon the wood resonates deeper than you'd expected it to. It turns into what sounds like a moan, then echoes away into silence. The door remains closed. The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no... The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. The face vanishes. The anguished face appears, then vanishes. The door remains closed.
There's something to these doors I'm not seeing. But what?
Remember this one. His name was Kerben. His friend's sword couldn't save him, it would appear.
Hear my prayer. Show us the way forward. Deliver us from peril.
Before you is a towering figurehead carved in the likeness of a dragon. It looms over the bow, its fangs bared at the open sea. There's an odd mark on the side of the figurehead. Battle damage, weather staining. It almost looks like a pattern, however. Searing pain races up your arm. The ship senses you. It's angry. The pain intensifies. It's spreading past your arm, across your chest. Your lungs feel like they're on fire.
Pray to you for my seeker brethren. Show us the path to salvation.
Ship moving, Godwoken. We have every free hand looking into it. Help, if you can.
do to deserve that?
Aw, there's my corrupted darling. I was just thinking of you. This is Dallas's ship, but she can't have been the only one who could get it moving. It'd be too risky, and Dallas is anything but careless. There's a way to move this ship on board, I'm sure of it. The figurehead has certainly caused a commotion lately. But then again, so have the doors downstairs. Everywhere you look, a hunk of wood looking to incinerate or stymie you. You'd be surprised. A ship like this holds many secrets. Hopefully you can discover some these seekers might have missed. Please don't go.
Pretty nice boat, eh? We got an upgrade. There's got to be another way to get it going, but we can't find a way into Dallas's room. Maybe you can see something we can't.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody Divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just don't make me regret it. I'll keep an eye on the red until the cage is locked again.
A young magister paces around the brig, tending to the unconscious form of Alexander himself. She leans over and presses a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, caulkers mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot. So stow your questions. Magister Ranley, caulkers mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. There's a shift in the Magister's expression, a flicker of doubt. Then...
I'm a good Magister, loyal. But Dallis, something about her has changed. She's toying with dark magic, like a common sorcerer. She used to sing to the ship. It let her control it. She had this old book of hymns and incantations. It was only ever in her hands, or else locked away in her cabin at the stern. That's all I know. Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the divine. All right. Don't harm him. I'll be watching.
Ifan grabs you by the sleeve, not hard, but insistent.
Let me work on him. I've got questions that need answers. Answers I can only get from him.
Ifan approaches Alexander, who lies flat on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, Alexander's eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Ifan grabs him by the jaw and shakes, violently. Alexander's face contorts with agony and his eyes flutter, yet he doesn't return to consciousness.
Why did you trigger the death fog before the elves had a chance to escape? Why? Why?
No matter how loud Ifan shouts his questions, there is no response from the unconscious Alexander. He reaches his arm back, and you realize he intends to punch Alexander in the face. Ivan's fist connects with Alexander's cheekbone, and you hear the stomach-curdling crack of bone. Blood streams from Alexander's nose, yet he stirs not at all. Without a word, Ifan strides away. Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch.
You spoke, didn't you? Ha!